Leave your expectations at the door because you're listening to the In the Can Show every Wednesday only on inthecan.net.
And I say can with a K.
Get the latest in film reviews from inthecan.net, preventing mind vomits by recommending only the best.
Like the thing when the review I read before I watched like The Dark Knight, for instance, the guy gave it 5 stars and called it a masterpiece. So I went in there and I was like, they called it a masterpiece, let's put that name to the test. And at the end of the movie I was like, he was right! He was
That motherfucker was...
like,
My confession is that I actually didn't like The Dark Knight the first time I watched it. I had to wait for it to come out in DVD and watch it again before I actually started liking it. So, I think I missed something.
I went like 2 days later and watched it again in the same cinema.
It was nice the second time and the third time that I watched it, because then I was like picking up little things. That was cool.
When was the last time you went to the movies and had to see something twice lately?
I watched Inception twice because I first watched it by myself and then I watched it with other people.
But would you have chosen to see it by yourself anyway? Like, regardless of them being with you?
Well, probably. Because I think it was the only film that was actually, at the time, that was actually worth the time, the money.
I think the last one for me was The Avengers.
Yeah. I think I saw The Avengers 3 times, so...
I saw The Avengers on DVD, and I was like, oh, it's okay.
He's not part of the Avengers boner camp. Okay.
I think it was just that the hype was so much. It's like, oh, this is the new Dark Knight, and
No,
it wasn't, because they're just two different beasts, It's like,
yeah, exactly.
So it was, but it wasn't.
It was the first movie where Marvel really opened up their fun canon.
And
it
yeah,
was...
But the thing that irritated me from the beginning was what's her name? Scarlet Witch, is it?
Black Widow.
Black Widow, sorry, yeah. Is that
Scarlett
fight scene
Johansson. You're halfway there.
Yeah, that fight scene at the
Way
where she's in the interrogation and you're like, a phantom punch and a phantom kick, and I didn't believe that, but then it got better, obviously.
I don't know. It's just when I went to see The Avengers, it was the most fun that I've ever had in a cinema, like, for a long time. It's like it's just I felt entertained throughout the entire movie. That's how good it was. And, it's like I think we're missing out a lot of that lately. It's like lately everything just seems like it's not going out there to be fun. It's just going out there to try and make money. And that's why what we were speaking with last time is how Hollywood can't make a comedy movie. They can't really make much these days.
Yeah.
At least anything compelling. They need individual talent, and they never let talent do their thing. They just sort of like close them off, and as we saw with like Edgar Wright, just throw them out and then get someone that's more cooperative to do it. Who Peyton Reed, he's the guy who's doing it, and if you look at his resume, it's nothing to sort of like,
he's like the third or fifth choice or something. So it's like,
and the worst choice.
They really shot themselves in the foot with this one, I think.
No, and it looked like it was going to be incredible too.
But what I read today, quite strangely, the two guys who did 21 Jump Street, the two directors, I forget their names.
They're the guys who did the Lego movie.
Yeah, and they're also doing 22 Jump Street.
Well, I hope that they've learned something since 21 Jump Street, because I didn't think that was anything to jump about. It was, it felt like Superbad, the sequel, and Superbad didn't need a sequel. So,
speaking of Lego, that was actually a film that I was thinking of going to see again.
Yeah, I wanted to see it again, but it's just
was in cinema for like 3 weeks or something.
I think it made some good cash, that one.
No, it did definitely. It just was in cinema for a very short time, I think. Strangely short time.
No, that still, I think, is the best movie that has come out this year. So it's actually, it's hard to imagine that the best movie that came out in the entire year is the Lego movie. I'm glad that it is, at least, because it was next to the Avengers. I haven't had that much fun in a movie since then. So
yeah.
yeah, and it had all of the superheroes, and so people always it had some. I guess it had something of
Justice
everything.
that was the Justice League movie that they've been watching. It was in Lego.
No, it was, and I found it kind of bizarre how Superman could be defeated by gum, but
Yeah. Well, that was actually in how it should have ended. So then he was asking Batman, "How the heck did I get defeated by gum?"
yeah.
And then Batman was just like, "Yeah, well, I'm Batman, so
But even
you guys got defeated. You guys got captured. I didn't."
yeah. Well, even Star-Lord's in that movie.
Star-Lord?
I'm Star-Lord.
Was he in the Lego movie?
Yes, it's.
The actor, the voice actor, Chris Pratt.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that it was like as a minifigure he was like inside there, but it's you know what it's still sticking on Lego. I found it so entertaining. It's like I think that Lego nowadays for kids is not really, it's not really the in toy to have. Now it's like have an iPad or an iPhone when you're like 3 years old. But it's like they're making more and more sets for people our age that actually do like Lego or did like Lego.
It's weird, though.
Yeah, like now they made like Back to the Future set and
Did they?
yeah, and with a DeLorean, and they made a Ghostbusters one recently.
Yeah. But that was for
They're making everything basically. Every new major film they bring out a set.
Yeah, it's I just couldn't believe it. It's like Lego now is more like for adults. And that's a wrap for another episode of the In the Can show. If you liked what we had to say, why not tell us in the comments below? And while you're at it, why not hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Google+, all of our social networking sites, and our website inthecan.net. And until next time, stay tuned.